Virgo, this week it's all about the swords for you. You've got a little bit of walking away, a little bit of clarity, and a little bit of a new direction. Let's have a look and see which cards you've got. Well, the first card out is the Seven of Swords, and here you can see you're looking down and you're like, oh, I'm a bit fed up and I've had no opportunity other than to take the stance that I'm now taking. And I'm really annoyed about that. Well, of course you're annoyed about it because you wanted things to go in a certain way. And sometimes in life, it doesn't happen that way. And just remember that rejection is also God's protection. I know that's a bit spiritual, but it means that a certain situation wasn't right for you. And maybe you've been struggling with things. Well, I know in your February forecasts, which are out on YouTube at the moment, you definitely have been struggling with things, Virgo, and you have been getting itchy feet and you have been wanting to go off in a new direction. And guess what? This first week of February, it's all starting to happen for you. But you've had to go through that process. You've had to work it out for yourself. It hasn't just turned up and gone bang, thank you very much. It's been a long process. And here you've got a helper in the background who's picking up the swords and putting them into his sack on the back of him. And it's like, yeah, I've noted that one. I've noted that. I've noted that. You know, I'm collecting all these different things that have happened over a period of time. I've been watching the movie play out. It's not just been one instance. I've had many different things and I'm collecting them all up. And it's pretty obvious that I've got to put my head down. And it is with sadness that I've got to walk off in the opposite direction because there's nothing else I can do to change external situations. The only thing I can do is to change myself, to change the way I am, to change the way I think about things. And after all, Virgo, here comes my great phrase, if you always do what you always did, you'll always get the same wet fish in your face. And personally, I don't like that. So do something different, Virgo. Come up with a new idea. Come up with a new way of doing things. Here, his swords are going into his sack, so he's very pensive. He's thinking an awful lot about what's going on, what he needs to do next, why he needs to do it, and how he needs to do it. However, let's see what your next card is. So your next card out, Virgo, is the King of Swords, and he's sitting here, and it means you're getting a bit of time out this week, and you're sitting on your throne, and you're going, right, well, actually, I really want to do this. Now, how am I going to do it? Because you've got to think about it. But because he's the king, you've already had a bit of a dress rehearsal on all the other cards that have gone before. Well, we've got your 7 here, so we'll take it with that you've had your contemplation. And here he's going, okay, I'm almost ready to do what I want to do, to go in the direction I want. And ultimately, in the back of this card, you can see we've got the birds here in the background behind the throne. And birds are all about freedom, flying away, flying wherever we want to go, do the things that we want to do. And that freedom has to come from your mindset and understanding that you are your own boss, understanding you can create your own direction. You are not beholden to everybody around you. And sometimes in life, we do think, oh, well, because of X, Y, and Z, I can't do what I want to do. But that's not right. You can do whatever you like. You've just got to understand your motives of why you want to do them and how you want to do them. And I think here, whatever I'm talking about in your life, and I know very general sweeping brush, but something has happened, things have been happening over a long period of time where you are going, I really want to do things differently. I want a different outcome. And I've contemplated it. I'm ready to go. I'm strong. We've got the trees in the background of the picture here. I'm strong. I've got my strength now. I'm standing upright. I'm not weak in my thought process. And I can start moving forwards because your next card out is your Ace of Swords. And the Ace of Swords is saying, you've got a new direction. You've got a new thought process. You've got that clarity. And with the king definitely here, like I've already been saying to you, you can do what you want. You can break free. You can get that freedom that you want, the new direction you want. And here, Ace of Swords is about clarity, decision-making process. But we have the crown here, which is a bit like the wedding ring. And we've got 2 different twigs from 2 different trees in there. And we have to understand the male and female of life, the yin and yang of life, that we have to contemplate and understand what somebody else brings to the equation. And ultimately, we've got a coming together here. But we actually also have to understand that situations in our lives, whatever stands opposite us, is different to us. We can never have exactly the same because there isn't exactly the same. There will be similar. And here we can create one new path. Wherever this is falling in your life, wherever you need to make a compromise, wherever you need to get an understanding from this Seven of Swords of how a situation is, if you know that someone's behaving in a certain way and it's affected you in another way all the way through, then adjust your stance. Like I said, if you always do what you always did. So adjust your stance of how you're receiving everything to make this path much better for you, to allow everything to go forwards in the direction that you want. If you're wanting to break free this week, Virgo, you can. If you're wanting to see things in a new way and give yourself a new direction, you can. This week, Virgo, it's all about going in a new direction. It's all about doing new things in a new way, thinking in a different way, getting clarity, getting focus. And Virgo, if you're liking my content, please hit the like button because that helps the algorithm get me out there. I really appreciate it. That's what I'm wanting to do. Subscribe to my channels. That would be wonderful. And please pop me a comment and let me know what's going on in your life because I love to hear your stories and I love to write back to you. And check out my February videos on YouTube and check out my weekly wisdom and my weekly astrology, all new to me this year. And I will see you, Virgo, in my next week's videos. Take care. Bye, Virgo.